Hello, my name is Crystal Contreras, and this is Sprint4 for SE456. In this week's sprint, we implemented a composite pattern, animated our sprites, and created a timer event manager to perform our animations in intervals. So the way that we created our composite pattern is by starting off with a component abstract class that then gets passed down to our game object abstract class, and it's made up of our leaves and composites. And so composites have columns and grids, but the leaves are what in the end we will be calling as our columns and grids contain leaves. Our grid contains columns and our columns contain leaves. So we create an alien base for which we can have specific sprites classes for. And these classes will actually implement our mover update to the sprite. And the way it does that is by calling the sprite proxy, implementing it on the sprite proxy when we call the move and update methods, and the sprite proxy then changes our sprite. So with our factory here, we create a bunch of columns, and as you saw, the base is our game object. And so then we also attach our objects. So here we are, we create them in our factory, and then we add them to our list. So the next thing that happens after we add our columns to the grid is that we attach our grid to a game object node manager. And that's how we can set all of these game nodes in one place. So now we have to create a time event manager for the image swapping and for the stepping. So I'll go through the stepping where we created a move command, and in this move command, it takes in a game object node. So for this game object node, we created, a game object node, and that game object node inherits from our single link, and which is also a node base. And so now our move command actually points to a single link manager, and that's why we needed a game object node. So we create one, and then we set it with the new values that we want to update. So in this example, our delta is either a +1 or a -1. So if it's a +1, it indicates we're moving to the right. And after that, we attach the command to our timer event manager, which holds onto a list of different timer events, and it implements priority queue. So our priority queue here is inheriting from the D-link manager, and we also have a PQ link, which is a node type of link, and it also inherits from our D-link. So it acts like a D-link. The only difference is that we added the priority field. That way our sprite batch and timer event classes can inherit that priority field that is used by our priority queue manager. And that gets called by manager base just by the base add by priority and base reorder functions, which get called in our timer event manager and our sprite batch manager. So here is the final result. As you can see, we have printed all of our game objects that are here by our game object node manager. And then we have in our timer event manager the different moves that are going on. So we're swapping the crab, octopus, and squid images, and then they're all moving by one. And when they get to the end, they will flip over and they will start moving over to the left. The way we do that is by creating a new move command that has the updated delta, the change, so going from +1 to the -1. And then we look for our previous command, the move sprites, and we update it with the new command. And after that's updated, then they will start going the opposite direction.